Welcome back, guys. My name is Alan, and this is my Minecraft world. This is the first video, so you might be confused as to why I said welcome back, and you can also probably tell that this isn't a new world. So that's actually why I said welcome back, because yeah, not exactly a new world, but there is a lot to show you, and I'm actually in the middle of a few projects here in the base. So this is my main base area, and actually this is a server. I'm the only one online right now, and I probably will be the only one online for basically every video. I'm still trying to work out like what exactly is gonna happen, or like what is going where, but I kind of threw a bunch of chests back here, and there's more chests down here. I wanted to do copper chests because I think the color looks cool. I don't think they're functionally any different. I could be wrong, but I want to do like bulk storage, I think, here. And then my favorite thing to do is, I love just putting greenery just places. I think it just looks cool. So there'll be more greenery here, and then I mean, this is like a this is like a terrible bamboo farm, but there's just a bunch of hopper minecarts down there, and it goes to over here. That's sort of a temporary thing, I think, and it's been going for like, I don't know, like 15 minutes. That's no, like probably like 30 or 40 minutes. And so yeah, it's obviously not very good or very efficient. I'm currently in the process of making a big cactus farm. Specifically, I'll go into cheaty flycam mode here. Specifically because I want to do the thing where when you smelt the cactus and it goes into the furnaces, you can get like storage, like XP storage banks. So I want these 5 furnaces here to sort of be like XP banks. So if I ever need to like repair my elytra or something, I can just go here, take out 1 cactus, and then I'll like be able to fully repair my elytra or my shovel or whatever. So yeah, like as you can see, this is pretty big. Basically, all that bamboo is from the time it took me to dig this out, which didn't really take that long because I've got haste. But this is the main project that we've been working on for I don't know, a while. It's been like, I think this server was started sometime in December, and it's now like the middle of February. So it's been a couple months now. Everybody sort of stopped playing like, I don't know, like a month ago, kind of at this point. So this is a collaborative effort between like 6 people, I think, just about. I'll show you all the stuff that I've done, and I'll kind of explain the whole concept, I guess. So this is, I guess I'll go chronologically. So this is the first thing that I built. This is like the main, this was like the main storage facility for a while. It's got like a lot of chests. We just call it the barn. This was the first thing we made because we kind of knew we wanted to work as a team for this whole thing. And so this was the first thing that I made. And then the next thing I made, I think, was this, which you can see is not exactly fully done at this point. But this was my first house, because I had built the barn, but I hadn't really built the house. So this was my house. As you can see before, I've only done the basement here, or the bottom level, for the interior at least. I stole the dragon egg. Nobody cared. This is my bed. I kind of like this design for a bed, to be honest. You can have storage underneath, and as you can see, some really good stuff in here, guys. Some really valuable stuff that I've left behind here. But this is like a kitchen area. I like to use these as like cups, and then the mirror design, banner pattern, I always like using that. Desk. I don't know, it's not like the most special interior, and I tried to add some storage, but there wasn't a whole lot of room. So that was my second build, And the whole premise of this is sort of just like a city, I guess. Like this was supposed to be like a Victorian era like city thing, and so we all sort of tried to build in that theme. This is like it gets more rural over here. Almost all of this stuff I built. Besides this is the schoolhouse, and there's definitely nothing suspicious going on in the ceiling up here. There's no labor camps or anything going on up here, so don't worry about that. It's just like a normal schoolhouse, right? Just a very normal schoolhouse. Somebody else built that. I built the horse pen that horses seem to somehow be able to escape from relatively easily. I've checked every wall on this entire thing, and I can't ride my horse out of here. But they keep on getting out somehow, and I really have no idea. So this is what's left of our horses. And then there's a funny story about this. This is the orange tree orchard. This is the winery that I made. I really, really like this building. This is probably one of my favorite things that I've ever made. And then this was the original like berry farm, I guess. We never really used it, but I just wanted to build some more like farmy type stuff to start filling out this area. And then a couple silos, a little bridge, a nice little farmhouse thing with some like wheat under here. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. This was the first person. This wasn't me. Someone else built this shack and started like kind of planning out builds over here, and then sort of left. But I was like, yeah, this is like a cool area. We could do like some cool like rural stuff over here. So I started doing that, and I'm not sure why I keep going into cheat cam, but it's not. It's kind of bad, I feel like, for viewing at least. This is the library. This is actually this is the this was supposed to be the library, and then we sort of just filled it with a bunch of librarians. So we've got like a big trading hall down here. This is where we get all the enchantments. And then we kind of just transformed it into a villager trading hall. I like the design of that. This actually is the library, which isn't really done. That's going to be a sort of a theme with this whole thing. A lot of the stuff is not done because people just got bored. You know, 2-week Minecraft phase. That's sort of what it was, I think. The plan, I think from the start of the world, was to have a big castle up here, and someone was going to start building it, and then he moved to Columbus and stopped joining Call. So, or no, he moved to Cleveland rather, and stopped joining Call. So, he didn't actually. He's still around, but I think it's just kind of funny. He's been on Call a little less, the job and whatnot. But yeah, this is the Victorian area. That is the rural area. Castle is supposed to go up there. Alright, buddy. Fine, I'll sleep. I probably should be sleeping anyways. But we have lit up like a lot of this area. It's kind of like a huge beacon. If you're ever lost, just fly back towards 0, 0, and you'll probably see light eventually. But anyways, this is the industrial area. We did a cool trick up here. The AFK platform is made of chests, so that it's not visible in the sky. Because I think AFK platforms are kind of ugly. But that makes the creeper farm run better, and that's like the only mob-based farm we have over here. So really, it doesn't really matter where you're at for any of the other farms. And obviously, the creeper farm was like one of the first buildings to go up over here. I think it was that building, which is sugarcane, bamboo. That's actually where like everything goes into. Every farm that we have over here, besides a few, end up funneling into like this downstairs area here. We've got like pumpkins and melons and cactuses, and then this is the bamboo. Let's see, yeah, it's not a very good bamboo farm. We have another bamboo farm actually. This is iron. This is the sugarcane, and then the gunpowder is back there. I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of dark. But that is, so this is the cactus farm, which, as you can see, I didn't want to make a huge one. I made this building. I didn't want to make a huge one. I think it's like 20 cactuses, maybe. It's like not very many cactuses, because I know every time I make a cactus farm, green building blocks to begin with are not like a very used block, but it's nice to have some. So it never really needs to be that fast, because if it's in like render distance and it's like pumping out, it'll pump out like 4 or 5 every couple minutes, and that's good enough for us, really. This is the wood farm. I built this building. This is based off of where I actually work in real life. Not the inside, but it would be pretty funny if we just had massive stalks of bamboo running rampant all over the place. Did the flying machine break again? Oh, of course it did. Yay. So, yeah. We've got a lot of wood, so it doesn't really need a lot of bamboo as well. Oh, is this thing completely full? Yeah, it is. Okay, well, that's kind of crazy, because I haven't really been over here in a while. I've been working on my other base. Ever since the other people stopped playing, it sort of lost a lot of interest in this project. This is a concrete factory. This is a... can you guess what this is? This is a nuclear power plant. This was one of the most interesting projects I've ever worked on. You know, I've never really done anything with glass before, so this was like my first foray into making smoke with glass, and I think it came out okay. There's definitely some places I would improve on in the future. Like, I tried to make it not so thick, but it kind of just looks like lines from certain angles. But I don't know. I think it looks okay. I'm not in love with the shape or anything, but it's good enough for me. This is supposed to be like the reactor, and I don't... If you look up nuclear power plants, they all have this thing, but I have no idea what it is. It looks like a smokestack, but there's never any smoke coming out of it. So yeah, this is the industrial area, and let's go back here. This is my bridge that I made, and actually, I guess there's this thing I kind of forgot about. This goes down to a trial chamber. We don't have to go down there. And I'm out of rockets. Yay. This used to be a massive hill. This is where, I mean, I'm not sure this is ever going to happen at this point, because it seems to be that nobody else is ever going to play on this world again. So, I mean, if they do, that would be awesome. I would love that. And we would come back over here and start working on this area immediately. Well, maybe not immediately. I actually am liking my other base. I thought maybe I would get bored if my friends left, but that does not seem to be the case. I have, let's see. Yeah, I have a lot of time in this world. I think this is nearly 300 hours at this point. It's like 280 something, I think. But this is where we were gonna make like a Singapore style, like huge skyscrapers on a tiny island. This is like the road network. So, as you can see, it's we've got a really sizable amount of progress done over here. There's a lot of builds, a lot of really cool stuff, but unfortunately, everybody sort of left. So it's just me. So I figured I may as well start my own like single player base in this SMP world, which I think is kind of funny. But yeah, that's basically the history of the world. I probably don't care a whole lot, but this is the Nether portal. I think we were originally going to do this in Steampunk, so that's why this portal kind of looks like this. And then in the Nether, it's farms, gold farm, bartering farm. That goes off to the desert. That goes off to a nice area. That goes off to the end. I don't actually know what that portal goes to. Oh, that portal goes to the, you can see the Wither. That portal goes to the, Wither Rose farm that is currently broken. I made this frog light farm as well. Lots of frogs down here, just doing their thing. And then this is our portal. Wait, no, I went the wrong way. This is our portal. And that brings us back here. And as I said, today's project is probably just going to be finishing the cactus farm over here. Hopefully get it all running, get this XP bank system sort of working out, and then I guess probably finishing this. I think for a first episode that could be pretty good. I don't really know how long this recording is at this point. So I'm hoping to try to keep these around 20 minutes so that they're easy to watch. You don't have to take a whole lot of time out of your day to watch them. And I think honestly this is going to be pretty interesting for me as well to look back on, like sort of the progress that we've made, that I've made so far in this world. One cool feature I think I really like is put a little Bernie pit down here. If I've ever got like a bunch of junk, I should probably fix that. If I've ever got a bunch of junk in my inventory, which I don't really right now, I can just throw it down there. Into the fire. And it will all be gone. So without further ado, I think I'm probably just going to place in all this sand and I'll be back. Alright, so as you can see, the sand's all down now. So we just have to put in the cactus, and it will be fully functional, I'll say. But I'm still probably going to want to change the walls on the inside. Even though nobody will see it, I still like to do that. I'll probably just do like a solid color. I might do like green terracotta or something like that. I don't really know yet. But I'm just going to get the cactuses in now, and we'll see how it works. I don't really know how efficient this is going to be. It's, what is it? It's 8 by 8. So it's like a stack of cactuses per layer, and there's 6 layers. So I don't know if that's going to be enough to keep up with those furnaces back there. But I guess we'll see. And if I go into this here, into free cam, there's like water caves and like there's big water stuff down here. So there's not, I can't really go a whole lot farther down, and I already put in this water here. So I don't really want to go farther down. And I haven't said this yet, but actually the plan for the surface here, as you can see, I'm on a mycelium island, a mushroom island. And I kind of just chose it because I thought it was cool. I've never had a base on a mushroom island before. But I want to do some sort of like city, not city. I mean, I want to do some sort of like, I want to do like a lot of terraforming, and I sort of want to make like a water city, not a water city, a coastal like island city. I don't really have a lot of the details banged out yet, but it'll be some sort of city on the surface, and it'll be pretty much entirely detached from the base down in the thing here. This is basically just like a functional area where like I keep all my storage and like little farms and whatnot. And then on the surface will be like the actual main thing. I want to like, I'm going to take out all the mycelium, and I'll probably expand these islands a lot as well. You can see there's quite a few. If I go into fly mode, looks like there's like, I mean, this is basically just one island. So there's like 3, and then that's the ocean monument that I cleared out, which I've got some plans for, but you'll have to see in future videos what my plans actually are. And I've also got plans for this area over here. I'm probably going to bring this coast over here a lot farther inland, like probably to, you know, where you see this sort of high elevated water, like this land here that's like elevated close to the surface. I'll probably bring all of this out to here, which is going to be a big project, but I think it'll be worth it in the end, and I think you guys will agree. I'm still dabbling with the idea too of either destroying this island entirely or connecting all the islands together and making one big landform. But like I said, I still don't even know what the terraforming is going to be based off of. I want it to be sort of based off of like a real world place, I guess. I mean, it's not going to be like a replica of like the buildings and whatnot, but it will be terraforming and like nature wise, I guess you could say. It'll probably be like some sort of a island, maybe like American Samoa. I don't really know what American Samoa looks like, but I know it's like a small island in the ocean, which is what we've got here. So probably in the next couple videos I'll start figuring out what I actually want the surface to look like. But for now, we're just going to be mostly working down here, trying to get everything set up so that it's easy and efficient for me to work up there, because that's going to be like the main thing. And then over in that direction with the like the mainland, I want to do like a lot of terraforming. I haven't done like a whole lot in my career, my Minecraft career, if you will. I haven't done a whole lot of terraforming, so I think this will be an exciting project, and I hope you guys really, really enjoy. So the cactus is all down now. I just have to finish the water streams at the bottom. I've got to get it so it's flowing to a specific point, and I don't have anywhere to pick up I don't have an item collection system yet, so I've got to get that done. But we're gonna go down here and see. I think we'll probably do this part right now. Actually, I need to grab water bucket. I accidentally filled way too many buckets with water. Where are they? They are right there. Look at all that beautiful, beautiful water. I should probably grab a couple. I don't know how hard this is gonna be. Oh, and I need some soul sand. Oh, I don't think I have any soul sand. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back. I got the soul sand, but I also got some ice. I haven't really used this before, but ice is really good at creating water source blocks. If you just break it with fortune, it creates water source blocks, and that's something that I haven't really used before, but I think it'll be really good for making the bubble elevator that we need for the cactuses to get from down there to up here. But you know what I also forgot is I need to make some of the fence gates, or actually I'm gonna do signs. I think I'll do signs to prevent the water from flowing into the ways that I do not want it to flow. And I think I need, I don't actually know, I think it's like 16, no, it's probably like, I think it's 19 signs. Yeah, this is the way we want to do it. And then I think on the left side is going to be where the water elevator is. Ah! There's an A on that side. Forever and ever. Oh, it's not enough. I was right. Well, I wasn't right. I said 19. It's actually 17. But once we get those signs, I will update you with progress. And I think we should have it all the way up to funneling into the hoppers. Whee! Alright, anyways, I got this bubble vader working here. You can see the cactus is making its way up here and onto these hoppers. Which, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I need to raise this up one more. Because that way I can have hoppers running over across like this. And it should work. Alright, now that I've got all the stuff, I should be able to get this thing up and running. I've been playing with the idea of, like, trying to have, like, a holding cell for these cactuses before they go into the furnaces, because I don't want it to be, like, only one of the furnaces is actually getting filled, or, like, two, because I think if I don't do the holding chamber cell, like, if I don't, the way I think I would do it is I would have it store up cactuses until it fills 5 chests full of cactus, for one chest for each one of the furnaces, and then just release all of the cactus at once, and it should fill into these hoppers like normal. But the problem with that is I don't know if... Well, there's no problem. Well, the problem with that is that I don't want to do it. The problem with that is that it sounds like a lot of work. Okay, so it's been a few days now, and as you can see, I've been working on this pretty simple design. I didn't want to work too hard, you know what I mean? So we've got this pretty simple, pretty intuitive design going on here that actually surprisingly does work. And it is actually pretty interesting. But while I was working on this, actually after I pretty much finished the entire thing, well, not that this is actually functional, because as you can see, this is not the correct spot, nor is this even at all connected to any sort of cactus farm at all. But I realized that all of this here that you can see, almost all of it is pretty much useless, actually, which is quite devastating to me, actually, because I did spend about 4 to 5 hours crafting and tinkering and doing all sorts of good redstone. But I think that we're not actually going to use this. So I will briefly run over how this is supposed to work, because I think there's some interesting parts to it. But then I'll explain why it's bad and how to make it better. So to start off with, the first feature, like the main feature of this smelter system, is that we needed to be able to lock these hoppers here. That was the whole premise, was to be able to lock them here after they had already smelted their full chest worth of cactuses into green dye. So the way I wanted to do that was through a piston feed tape. And as you can see, right now there's redstone blocks that are currently locking off the hoppers, so that if you put anything in here, it's not going to go down. It's just going to go across to over here instead of down, because all of them are powered at the moment. But to reset, you just press this button here, and something really interesting happens. Because almost all of this piston feed tape is filled with glazed terracotta, this sticky piston actually can't pull down any of those blocks, and in fact, it also can't pull down the redstone blocks for some reason. But then, once it gets to, like, the pullable blocks, like andesite, it'll pull it down, it'll pull the first one down, and we've got our 5 redstone blocks all queued up to be pushed across in order into the little spot there where it can lock off those hoppers. So that's the first part, and that's pretty simple, I would say. Just a note block that observes whenever a block, sorry, I had a hiccup there. A note block observes, or an observer observes a note block, and it changes state whenever a different block enters underneath it, and then obviously just powers the piston. The other part that is the noodly bits down here that look very complicated and confusing and quite bad, honestly, is the part that took me the longest. And I think I'll just show how this works for now, and then I'll try to explain it. But basically, this is our simulation shulker box filled up with theoretical green dye. Instead, we've actually filled it with a whole lot of crap. But if I stick this here, this is where it would be if this was going to be built. A full shulker box, or an empty shulker box would be here. It would be getting filled by these hoppers here. And once it becomes full, it'll drop down here, and this counter will count down. It did have 5 shovels in here, now it only has 4. And if I just put this in here a few more times, put it in one more time, every time that I've put that shulker box in there, one of these lights has been turned on, so that none of the green dye that's from here will be able to get to fill this shulker box. That's the way I had to do it because it would have put extra in. It wouldn't have been exactly a chest. So that's what I've done there. So we put it in one more time. It was very challenging to try and get the redstone so that it would stay powered after all 5 have been in, because I was using the output from, whoops, that's not where I want to go. I was using the output from this dropper, which as you can see has filled back up to the maximum of 5, but I was able to get by making it so that when this unpowers, it will go into a thing here. It's very complicated. It's not very complicated. It's very confusing to try and explain. But basically all you have to know is that this block pushes here whenever it unpowers for a split second and blocks the rest of this line from receiving any power, which is how those lights turn on. It goes to, like, starts off way down here and then it slowly goes down as that dropper empties. And then in order to reset it, all we have to do is press this button, that light turns off, this piston retracts, and everything resets. So it's pretty cool, and it does functionally work, but as you can see, it's kind of a bit of a behemoth, a bit of a monstrosity, if you will. And sadly, I realized that, in fact, the only piece of this that I ever actually needed was sort of this part down here, but not even, it doesn't even need to be this complicated, because all I needed to do in order to make this work was each of these furnaces has their own chest, and whenever that chest fills up, just lock the hopper. Just lock the hopper down here underneath the furnace so that it can't put any more out. And once that happens, eventually, since nothing can come out of the furnace, it will fill up and it will fill the hopper on top of that furnace, and then it will move over to the next one. So maybe it's a little less efficient time-wise, but space-wise and functionality-wise and a lot of other ways, redstone-wise, it's so much better. So, well, this is a very cool design, and I haven't really seen a piston feed tape used in this sort of a creative way before. I think that I'm going to stick with this new idea that I've had, and I think I'll build that, and then I'll show you what it looks like over in the actual area that we're going to build it in, which, if you remember, is right here. And another bonus is that that other thing that I built was way too big to be able to light up these lights whenever one of the furnaces got filled. But if we stick with this new method, this new idea that I came up with, I think that we'll have the space to light these up to show which ones have been readied, which ones are ready to be used. And I'll probably just have a button that I use to reset all of them and to, unlock these all at the same time so that they can, go back in order. So I think this is going to be a much better solution. I think you guys will probably agree. I think I'll get to building it. Okay, so I got all the redstone done, which is pretty cool. It took quite a while. There was a lot more complications than I thought there would be. You're really cramped for space back here, especially with how this floor is and how I wanted these walls to be. I'll just give you a quick look at it. As you can see, somehow I still managed to use this cool glazed terracotta piston feed tape trick. But it's relatively simple overall. I did exactly what I said in that last clip, and it works, which is pretty awesome. Right now it's in unloading mode. No, it's in storing mode. So all we have to do really is get the coal, which is what this is. This is the meter for how much coal we have, which I think is really fun. I've never had one of these in any of my bases before. But it's just like, I think it's cool. It's like a phone battery almost. You could just see it slowly drain, and then you have to charge it, So there's obviously no coal in here right now, but this is where the coal will be. And the buffer is just going to be all of these hoppers. So whenever all these lights turn off, that's when I'll know, like, okay, I should probably go get more coal. But it's not like a desperate need or anything, because there's like a lot of hoppers back there still. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty good. I just need to go fill it up with coal, and really then we'll see how it's going. So I think I'm gonna go do that, and we'll see it in action. Okay, so here's the Wither Skeleton farm. I thought I would just show you guys this since you haven't seen this. This is pretty far away from all of the other Nether related farms that we have. But if you see, whoops, that's the wrong button. If I go into Flycam here, go way down here, you can see we found one of the really good fortresses with a nice big square here, which, well, I mean, we made the square, but it had all the good parameters, and I do forget which tutorial that we used, but we did use a tutorial, so this is not our design, or by any means, but I do really like this design. It uses these turtle eggs to get the pigment out of render distance, and then all the wither skeletons just go through this. It takes a couple minutes for it to really kick in, but yeah, we found one in the Soul Sand Valley, because I guess that's like the best place to put them. It's the best for like spawns and whatnot, apparently. So I thought I would just show that. I've got a lot of grinding ahead of me. I've got to fill at least one of these, like probably 1.5 shulker boxes with coal blocks. And we only had like, well, we only had this much over here when I came over here. So this is gonna take a while. See, they're coming in now. So I also have a lot of tools that I need to repair, so this is kind of a good opportunity to do that, and my elytra's almost broken. I was honestly kind of surprised that my elytra even made it, to be honest. But it's going to be my life for the next probably couple of hours, so I'll see you guys with all of that coal. Alright, so that took way longer than I thought it would. I ended up having to AFK overnight, but as you can see, we've got a full shulker box full of the coal blocks here, and then a little bit extra in my inventory, so I think it's time. It's time to finally actually fire this thing up, put in this coal, and see what happens. So it's all fired up now. There is one small problem which I've noticed, which is that occasionally a cactus will somehow make it across to the second hopper, and we'll end up with like one cactus in this furnace, and it will only smelt one cactus with one coal. And that's kind of bugging me a lot, but I think it'll be fine. So that's just gonna have to be how it is. But I do really like how this turned out for the most part. And I think that means that the only thing that we have left to do in this episode is to fill in this greenery, probably fix the floor. The floor doesn't look as good as it used to. I guess I could just do all yellow. Just like, remove this and just do all bamboo. Alright, yeah, let's see how this looks. How does that look? It definitely looks a little bland, but I think overall it's not too bad. Yeah, I think this is fine. What I am gonna do, actually, since that part is not fully done yet, I think I'm gonna do this, which I saw Green do in one of his. I kind of like it. Just put these guys like this, saying stop. It's not ready yet, and it's not. I don't know, I kind of like that. Okay, so I have a few ideas for what to do with this area. I think maybe something a little bamboo related could look good. So we've got this bamboo over here. It's more functional. Maybe this bamboo is a little more visual looking. I don't like that. If I do this, yeah, I think I like this. This looks pretty good. It's kind of hard. There's a lot of space to fill. Maybe I'll grab some. Do I have any shears? That maybe. Hate that. I don't have any regular bushes. It's kind of annoying. Ooh, but I do want some ferns. I think. Maybe bone meal that, and then plant. I think one will be fine. And then right there, probably. And I think I like that. It looks good. It's nice. Adds a nice bit of greenery to the area. And I think I need to get some string to put on top of that, otherwise that's gonna grow. But other than that, I think this has gone pretty well, to be honest. Stick around for the next episode, where hopefully we'll deal with this area over here. I don't exactly know what we're gonna put there just yet, but we'll deal with that. And if we're lucky, I might even start work on this project over here, which I think you guys are gonna like a lot. And I don't think you're gonna really expect what I'm gonna do over here. So I think that the next episode is gonna be really exciting, guys. So stick around, and I'll see you guys in the next one.